In the vast world of animals, over 1 million species showcase an incredible variety of structures and forms. This immense diversity highlights the crucial need for classification, which organizes and assigns systematic positions to newly described species. Without a proper classification system, understanding the relationships and characteristics of different species would be nearly impossible. Classification relies on fundamental features shared among various animals, including cell arrangement, body symmetry, coelom presence, and the patterns of digestive, circulatory, and reproductive systems. These shared traits form the basis of animal classification, allowing scientists to categorize and study them effectively. All members of the Animalia kingdom are multicellular, yet they exhibit different levels of organization. Sponges, for instance, display a cellular level of organization with loose cell aggregates, where individual cells perform basic functions. Coelenterids, such as jellyfish and corals, show a tissue level of organization, where similar cells group together to form tissues that carry out specific functions. Higher phyla, like Platyhelminthes, demonstrate an organ level of organization, where tissues come together to form specialized organs. In more complex animals like annelids and arthropods, organs combine to create functional systems known as the organ system level of organization. Different animal groups exhibit varying complexities in their organ systems. For example, Platyhelminthes possess an incomplete digestive system, characterized by a single opening that serves as both mouth and anus. This limits their ability to process food efficiently. In contrast, animals with a complete digestive system, such as mammals, have 2 openings, allowing for more effective digestion and nutrient absorption. Circulatory systems also vary. They can be open, where blood bathes cells directly, or closed, where blood circulates through a network of vessels, providing more efficient transport of nutrients and oxygen. Symmetry is another important criterion for classification. Sponges are mostly asymmetrical, meaning they lack equal halves. Radial symmetry is observed in coelenterids and echinoderms, where any plane through the center divides the organism into identical halves. Bilateral symmetry, found in annelids and arthropods, allows division into identical left and right halves along one plane, facilitating movement and coordination. Animals are also categorized based on their embryonic layers. Diploblastic animals, like coelenterids, have 2 layers, an external ectoderm and an internal endoderm, with a jelly-like mesoglia in between. Triploblastic animals, ranging from Platyhelminthes to chordates, possess a 3rd layer, mesoderm, which adds complexity to their structure and function. The presence or absence of a body cavity or coelom is vital in classification. Coelomates, such as annelids and mollusks, fasci, have a body cavity lined by mesoderm, allowing for greater organ development. Pseudo-coelomates, like Aschelminthes, have a body cavity not fully lined by mesoderm. Aquelomates, such as Platyhelminthes, lack a body cavity altogether, which impacts their physiological processes. Understanding these classification principles not only reveals the complexity of life, but also aids in the study and conservation of the animal kingdom. Segmentation is a biological feature observed in certain animals, where both external and internal structures are divided into segments, allowing for a repeated arrangement of organs. A notable example is the earthworm, which exhibits metameric segmentation, a phenomenon referred to as metamerism. The notochord is another critical structure in animal development. This rod-like formation, derived from mesoderm, appears on the dorsal side during embryonic growth. Animals that possess a notochord are classified as chordates, while those that do not, including various phyla from porifera to echinoderms, are known as non-chordates. The classification of animals highlights distinct characteristics across different phyla. In phylum Porifera, commonly referred to as sponges, members are primarily marine and exhibit asymmetry. These primitive multicellular organisms possess a cellular level of organization and a specialized water transport system. Water enters through tiny pores, known as ostia, into a central cavity called the spongicle, before exiting through the osculum. This water flow is essential for food acquisition, respiratory exchange, and waste removal. The spongicle and canals are lined with choanocytes, or collar cells, which facilitate intracellular digestion. Sponges possess a supportive skeleton made of spicules or spongin fibers. They are hermaphroditic, producing both eggs and sperm within the same individual. Reproduction occurs both asexually through fragmentation and sexually via gamete formation, with internal fertilization and indirect development that includes a distinct larval stage. Examples of sponges include Cycon, Spongilla, and Euspongia, illustrating the diversity within this phylum. Dive into the fascinating world of invertebrates. Phylum Coelenterata, or Cnidaria, encompasses a diverse group of aquatic, mostly marine creatures. These radially symmetrical animals are characterized by specialized cells called cnidoblasts, which contain stinging capsules known as nematocysts. These cnidoblasts serve multiple purposes: anchorage to substrates, defense against predators, and capturing prey for nourishment. Cnidarians are diploblastic organisms, meaning they have two tissue layers, and they possess a central gastrovascular cavity featuring a single mouth opening located on the hypostome. Digestion in these creatures occurs both extracellularly and intracellularly, allowing them to efficiently process food. Some cnidarians, such as corals, develop a skeleton composed of calcium carbonate, providing structural support and habitat for other marine organisms. Cnidarians exhibit two distinct body forms: a sessile polyp, which is cylindrical and anchored to surfaces, as seen in organisms like Hydra and Adamsia, and the free-swimming medusa, which has an umbrella shape like Aurelia or jellyfish. Interestingly, those cnidarians that exist in both forms undergo a fascinating process called metagenesis, where polyps produce medusae asexually, while medusae reproduce sexually to form new polyps. Notable examples of cnidarians include the Portuguese man-of-war, sea anemones, sea pens, sea fans, and brain corals. Next, explore phylum Catenophora, commonly known as sea walnuts or comb jellies. These exclusively marine organisms are also radially symmetrical and diploblastic, featuring 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates that aid in locomotion. Catenophores are remarkable for their bioluminescence, the ability to emit light, which can be a stunning sight in dark waters. Unlike many other invertebrates, ctenophores do not have separate sexes. Reproduction occurs solely through sexual means, with external fertilization, leading to indirect development of their young. Moving on to phylum Platyhelminthes, or flatworms, these organisms are characterized by their dorso-ventrally flattened bodies, hence the name. Most flatworms are endoparasites found in various hosts, including humans. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and icoelomate, featuring an organ level of organization. Parasitic forms possess hooks and suckers for attachment, while some absorb nutrients directly through their body surface. Specialized cells called flame cells assist in osmoregulation and excretion. Reproduction is internal, with development passing through several larval stages. Examples of flatworms include tapeworms and liver flukes. Phylum Aschelminthes, or roundworms, features organisms with a circular cross-section. They can be free-living or parasitic, exhibiting organ system-level organization. Roundworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and pseudo-coelomate. Their complete alimentary canal includes a well-developed muscular pharynx, and sexes are separate, with females often larger than males. Fertilization is internal, and development may be direct or indirect. Notable examples include Ascaris, Wuchereria, and Ancylostoma. Finally, phylum Annelida includes segmented worms, both aquatic and terrestrial. These coelomate animals exhibit bilateral symmetry and organ system organization. Their bodies are distinctly segmented, aiding in locomotion through longitudinal and circular muscles. Aquatic annelids like Nereis possess lateral appendages called parapodia for swimming. They have a closed circulatory system and nephridia for osmoregulation. Reproduction is sexual, with examples like earthworms and blood-sucking leeches. Discover the incredible diversity of these phyla and their unique adaptations. In the animal kingdom, phylum Arthropoda reigns as the largest phylum, encompassing over 2/3 of all named species on Earth. This diverse group includes insects, arachnids, crustaceans, and more. Arthropods exhibit a complex organ system level of organization, showcasing bilateral symmetry, triploblastic structure, and a segmented coelomate body. Their bodies are protected by a chitinous exoskeleton, which provides both structure and defense, while their segmented bodies are divided into 3 main parts: the head, thorax, and abdomen. Jointed appendages enhance mobility and adaptability, allowing arthropods to thrive in various environments. Respiration occurs through specialized structures such as gills, book lungs, or a tracheal system, which efficiently transport oxygen throughout their bodies. The open circulatory system of arthropods supports nutrient transport, allowing them to maintain energy levels for their active lifestyles. Sensory organs, including antennae and both compound and simple eyes, enable them to interact effectively with their surroundings. Excretion is managed by Malpighian tubules, which help maintain homeostasis. Most arthropods are dioecious, meaning they have distinct male and female individuals, with internal fertilization and oviparous reproduction being common. Notable examples include economically significant insects like honeybees, apis, and silkworms, bombyx, as well as disease vectors like Anopheles mosquitoes and agricultural pests such as locusts, Locusta. Next, phylum Mollusca stands as the second largest phylum, featuring both terrestrial and aquatic species. Mollusks are characterized by their unsegmented bodies, typically covered by a calcareous shell, which offers protection. Their body structure includes a distinct head, a muscular foot for movement, and a visceral hump that houses vital organs. A soft, spongy mantle envelops the visceral hump, creating a mantle cavity that contains feather-like gills for respiration and excretion. The radula, a unique rasping organ, aids in feeding by scraping food particles. Mollusks are usually dioecious and oviparous, undergoing indirect development. Examples include the apple snail, Pila, pearl oyster, Pinctada, and the fascinating octopus, phylum Echinodermata introduces a unique group of marine animals with a calcareous endoskeleton, giving them their spiny appearance. Adult echinoderms display radial symmetry, while their larvae are bilaterally symmetrical. They possess a complete digestive system, with a mouth located on the ventral side and an anus on the dorsal side. The most distinctive feature of echinoderms is their water vascular system, which is crucial for locomotion, food capture, and respiration. Echinoderms reproduce sexually, with external fertilization and indirect development. Examples include starfish, Asterias, sea urchins, Echinus, and sea cucumbers, Cucumaria. Lastly, phylum Hemichordata, once considered a subphylum of Chordata, now stands alone. These worm-like marine animals possess a collar region with a stomochord, resembling a notochord. Hemichordates are bilaterally symmetrical and coelomate, featuring a cylindrical body composed of a proboscis, collar, and trunk. Their open circulatory system and gill-based respiration support their survival. With separate sexes and external fertilization, they also undergo indirect development. Notable examples include Balanoglossus and Saccoglossus. Together, these phyla illustrate the incredible diversity and complexity of life within the animal kingdom. Phylum Chordata encompasses a diverse and fascinating group of animals characterized by several key features. These animals are fundamentally defined by the presence of a notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord, and paired pharyngeal gill slits. Chordates exhibit bilateral symmetry, are triploblastic, coelomate, and possess a post-anal tail along with a closed circulatory system. These characteristics set them apart from other animal phyla and highlight their evolutionary significance. Chordates can be distinctly compared to non-chordates through several key aspects. Chordates possess a notochord, which serves as a flexible support structure during development. Their central nervous system is dorsal, hollow, and single, allowing for complex nervous functions. Additionally, chordates have a perforated pharynx with gill slits, a ventral heart, and a post-anal tail that aids in locomotion. In contrast, non-chordates lack a notochord, possess a ventral solid central nervous system, do not have gill slits, and their hearts, if present, are typically dorsal. Furthermore, non-chordates do not have a post-anal tail, which is a defining feature of chordates. Phylum Chordata is divided into three major subphyla: Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. The first two subphyla, Urochordata and Cephalochordata, are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. In Urochordata, the notochord is present only in the larval tail stage, while in Cephalochordata, it extends from the head to the tail region and persists throughout the organism's life. Examples of Urochordata include Ascidia, Salpa, and Doliolum, while Cephalochordata is represented by Branchiostoma, commonly known as the lancelet. The subphylum Vertebrata includes a vast array of animals that possess a notochord during the embryonic period. This notochord is typically replaced by a cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in adulthood. This transition is crucial for the development of a more complex skeletal structure that supports larger body sizes and more advanced locomotion. While all vertebrates are classified as chordates, not all chordates are vertebrates. Vertebrates possess additional features, including a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3, or 4 chambers, kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and paired appendages that may evolve into fins or limbs. Class Cyclostomata, which includes lampreys and hagfish, represents some of the most primitive vertebrates. All living members of this class are ectoparasites, feeding on the blood of other fish. Cyclostomes have elongated bodies that bear 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. Their mouths are circular and lack jaws, which is a unique adaptation for their parasitic lifestyle. The body structure of cyclostomes is devoid of scales and paired fins, and both the cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. They possess a closed circulatory system and are primarily marine, migrating to fresh water for spawning. After spawning, these creatures typically die within a few days. Their larvae undergo metamorphosis and return to the ocean. Class Chondrichthyes includes a diverse group of marine animals characterized by their cartilaginous endoskeletons. These animals, which include sharks, rays, and skates, have streamlined bodies and a ventral mouth. The notochord remains persistent throughout their life, providing structural support. Chondrichthyes possess separate gill slits that lack operculum, which distinguishes them from bony fish. Their skin packet is tough and covered with minute placoid scales, while their teeth are modified placoid scales that are backwardly directed, enhancing their predatory capabilities. Due to the absence of an air bladder, these animals must swim continuously to avoid sinking. They have a two-chambered heart, consisting of one auricle and one ventricle. Some species, such as the torpedo, possess electric organs, while others, like the trigon, have venomous stings. Chondrichthyes are cold-blooded, meaning they do not regulate their body temperature internally. Males have claspers on their pelvic fins for reproduction, and many exhibit internal fertilization and viviparity. Class Osteichthyes, or bony fish, includes both marine and freshwater species characterized by their bony endoskeletons. Their bodies are streamlined with a terminal mouth and 4 pairs of gills covered by operculum on each side. The skin is covered with cycloid or ctenoid scales, and they possess an air bladder that regulates buoyancy, allowing them to maintain their position in the water column. Osteichthyes have a two-chambered heart, are cold-blooded, and typically exhibit external fertilization. Most species are oviparous, with direct development. Notable examples include marine species like Exocoetus, the flying fish, and Hippocampus, the seahorse, as well as freshwater species like Labeo and Catla. Class Amphibia, meaning dual life, includes animals capable of thriving in both aquatic and terrestrial habitats. Most amphibians possess 2 pairs of limbs, and their bodies are divided into a head and trunk, with some retaining a tail. Amphibian skin is moist and lacks scales, facilitating respiration through the skin. They have eyelids and a tympanum that represents the ear. The alimentary canal, urinary tract, and reproductive tracts open into a common chamber called the cloaca, which leads to the exterior. Amphibians can respire through gills, lungs, and skin, and they possess a 3-chambered heart. As cold-blooded animals, they rely on external environmental conditions to regulate their body temperature. Fertilization is typically external, and they are oviparous, with indirect development. Examples include Bufo, the toad, and Rana, the frog. Class Reptilia refers to animals that primarily crawl or creep, with many being terrestrial. Their bodies are covered by dry, cornified skin, which is often covered in scales or scutes. Reptiles lack external ear openings, with the tympanum serving as their ear. They typically have 2 pairs of limbs, and their hearts are usually 3-chambered, though crocodiles possess a 4-chambered heart. Reptiles are poikilothermic, meaning they cannot internally regulate their body temperature. They undergo internal fertilization and are generally oviparous, with direct development. Examples include chelone, the turtle, and various species of snakes. Phylum Chordata showcases an incredible variety of life forms, each uniquely adapted to its environment, highlighting the complexity and diversity of the animal kingdom. This phylum not only emphasizes the evolutionary significance of these animals, but also their ecological roles in various ecosystems around the globe. In the animal kingdom, class Aves, or birds, showcases remarkable adaptations. Characterized by feathers, most birds can fly, with notable exceptions like the flightless ostrich. Their forelimbs evolve into wings, while hind limbs, often scaled, adapt for walking, swimming, or gripping branches. Birds possess a unique dry skin, lacking glands except for an oil gland at the tail's base. Their endoskeleton is fully ossified, with hollow long bones that reduce weight for flight. The digestive system includes specialized chambers, the crop for storage, and the gizzard for grinding food. Birds have a 4-chambered heart, allowing efficient circulation. As warm-blooded creatures, they maintain a constant body temperature, relying on lungs for respiration, supplemented by air sacs. Reproduction involves separate sexes, internal fertilization, and oviparous development. Examples of aves include the intelligent crow, Corvus, the gentle pigeon, Columba, the vibrant parrot, Psittacula, the majestic peacock, Pavo, and even the aquatic penguin, Aptenodytes. Transitioning to class Mammalia, mammals inhabit diverse environments, from polar ice caps to arid deserts and lush forests. A defining trait of mammals is the presence of mammary glands, which nourish their young. They typically have 2 pairs of limbs, adapted for various activities like running, climbing, or swimming. Mammals are covered in hair, and most possess external ears. With a 4-chambered heart and lungs for respiration, mammals are also warm-blooded. Like birds, they have separate sexes and internal fertilization. While most are viviparous, the platypus, Ornithorhynchus, is an exception, laying eggs. Notable mammals include the kangaroo, Macropus, the common dolphin, Delphinus, and the majestic blue whale, Balaenoptera. Together, aves and mammalia illustrate the incredible diversity of life on Earth.